Hey guys, I'm Annie and I wanted to share my own rent experience with you because as a international student and being a first year, it was really difficult for me to kind of figure everything out and then rent a house. I rented a house and I will be moving there in June 1st, but it was a roller coaster. It was really stressful and really hard, really difficult to find a house by myself. I really hope that this video helps you out a lot and gives you some insights in terms of how to find a house when you need it. The first option is to reach out to a realtor. In Canada, the homeowners has to pay for the realtor, so the tenants don't need to pay for realtor. And it's pretty convenient because they help you find a bunch of houses and you go with the realtor to look at different houses and see which one you like the most. Unfortunately, we could not find a house that was in a budget that I wanted to, or transportation would be a little difficult to go to my university, so I decided not to choose the one from the realtor. However, if you feel like you have enough money and you feel like the transportation is also not your concern, it will be a really good idea for you to reach out to realtor and help you. Because realtor will help you find a lot of houses for you to look at. And usually it's all arranged in one day. And by that time, you'll be able to make final decisions by the end of the day. Not only that, the realtor also helps you and tells you some advice and kind of guides you through the entire process. I asked my realtor how to find a good house, like compare other houses with them in order to find like the house in the best condition for myself. So if you kind of want to have an easier time finding houses and want other people to help you find houses, realtor will be a good choice because it will save you a lot of time and energy. The second option is look at it yourself, find it yourself. There are a lot of websites that provides rental houses. You will find Kijiji, Facebook, Realtor. There are a lot of websites that you can go to find the houses that you want. They did give a lot of cheaper options. As long as you keep going through the options and look for them, you'll be able to find ones inside your budget. The good thing about Kijiji and Facebook is that you can look for roommates there. When they post that they are looking for roommates, you can reach out to them and then talk to them and see if your interests match. They will ask you to introduce yourself, tell them if you smoke, if you have pets, what kind of person you are, do you bring people in, do you go out often, are you a night owl, or you're a morning person. Like, they will ask you a lot of questions, and by that time you'll be able to have a new roommate and get a place together, especially if you don't have friends. But one thing to be careful about Facebook and Kijiji is that you might get scammed. I found a house that's all furnished, that includes all utilities, that includes everything, and the place looks really nice. It's a studio, it's really modern, it has nice view too, but it was only $800 and I was like, what? It's so cheap compared to other places, and if it's a studio or a bachelor room, usually it's a lot more expensive, up to $1,500 to $2,000. So I was really confused. I was like, oh my gosh, should I take that chance? But if you think about it, it's too good to be true. Usually a lot of places that are too cheap tends to be a little, I don't want to be stuck in this legal issues. Maybe the people sublease their place even though the homeowner said no. There might be a lot of complications. So really be careful when you are trying to rent a place that's cheaper than usual. There will always be a reason why. From my research, they did say that if you're looking for a place yourself and you're visiting the place, then the best thing is to meet the homeowner before you rent it out, because you need to make sure that the place is theirs and they give permission to rent out the place. If it's someone else, like another agent, then it might be a little dangerous, because if you ask questions, they might not be able to answer it. Do try to make sure that you talk to the homeowner to prevent being scammed and other stuff. Let's say that you don't want to spend too much money and you want somewhere really close and a lot of places are too expensive and you can't find anywhere. Then another way to do it is to look for homestay. So while I was looking at other houses, I was also looking at homestay options too. And they are actually pretty nice. It was homeowner or something. The family introduced themselves. You can go visit them. You can do a trial. You can kind of look into it more. But it was really interesting for me to see, oh, there are a lot of options out there. And don't limit yourself with one option. My standards were too high at the beginning because a lot of my friends were living in a pretty nice place and I was like, I should live there too. So I had to really kind of lower my standard, but in a good way. It really taught me that I really don't need to live in that much luxury. I don't know how to say it, but I really wanted to stay in reality. Trust me, it's not gonna be that bad. You're not gonna die. And that's college. For me, I found my place on Facebook and I immediately messaged them saying that I'm interested because it's a townhouse. You can just rent out one room and that way it will be a lot cheaper than renting out a condo or an apartment where it will be more expensive. If you have a lot of friends, then a townhouse will be great. If you're only looking for one roommate or want to have more private space, then of course apartment or condos will be a good choice. It will be generally more expensive because you're having more private space, and usually apartments and condos are newly renovated and more modern. But townhouses, they're kind of great too. You have kitchen, you have everything. It's just that it's in a house formation, so I guess the view might not be that great, but I feel like it's still really great as long as you find a place with a good location, especially transportation, and I feel like that will give a lot of solutions to a lot of problems. This is something that I kind of found difficult. It was very hectic after I told the homeowner that I wanted to rent the house because I didn't know how much to pay at what time and how renting works. Basically, you have to provide the 2 months of rent when you sign the contract, and I was like, what, this amount of money by tomorrow? So usually what a lot of home rentals do is they get first month of rent and also your last month of rent. The last month will be an insurance just in case you just ditch the place, and you shouldn't because that's really rude and you need to tell them beforehand so they can figure something out. For me, I did not have that money, so I told the homeowner, and then the homeowner said they will give you more time. And so right after that, I got the money and I paid them back. So from my mistake, I hope you guys know that when you guys are signing a contract, you must already have the money beforehand, just so that you can send them the money immediately, secure the place to be yours. And another thing is that you need to read the contract carefully because sometimes they might have written something wrong. So you need to really make sure everything you guys agreed upon is correct and nothing is wrong. For a lot of international students, the homeowners require you to pay 1 year of rent in advance. And apparently this is because during COVID, a lot of students just suddenly left and abandoned the place, and it was very sudden. Homeowners lost probably a lot of things, or they started to mistrust people, so they want the students to already guarantee the money to kind of keep the promise. But for me, I personally wanted a more flexible contract, which is month by month. But it really depends on every single homeowner. My homeowner is really nice and he was really kind and lenient, and he's already experienced. It was really easy for us to just get that month by month basis. If they don't allow that and you cannot really afford it, then you have to find a new place. Even though it feels really impossible, because I felt like that. I was like, how can I find somewhere that I like inside this budget? And I was like, but the more you look and the more time you invest, you will realize that it's possible. Because man, I looked for houses for 2 weeks non-stop. I did not do anything else really. I joined a lot of Facebook groups that were related to house rental, and I just double checked, triple checked it every day. Looked for houses, looked at the prices and everything, and it was really tiring, but finally it paid off and I did find a pretty good house that was next to a lot of plazas and has a bus station right in front to get to my school campus, and so it really worked out for me. And I thought it was a really good experience learning more about houses and how it works. So yeah, so that's all for my rent experience and my insights, my thoughts on renting a house. I hope my video really helped. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.